Around 2 years after these thick clouds of smoke emerged from a chemical plant in Rockdale County. I'm Blair Miller.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. A federal report released today cites a leaking sprinkler for causing the chaos from the BioLab facility. Atlanta News First anchor Sydney Stallworth in Conyers after digging through that report and speaking with people still recovering from what happened.
In a statement, the CSB chair called conditions and circumstances here at the BioLab Conyers warehouse, quote, completely unacceptable.
27 findings that we reached, I think, is very telling in this report.
Nearly 2 years after chemicals pumped into the air in Rockdale County, federal investigators say the 2024 fire was caused by several issues that were never fixed. The report says the September 2024 fire started when water leaked from a corroded sprinkler onto highly reactive pool treatment chemicals, an issue the U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board, or CSB, says was documented before the disaster.
Inspection reports going back to 2023 in December that identified over 1,000 sprinkler heads that were visibly corroded.
CSB also found there was more than double the amount of reactive chemicals being stored in the warehouse than what was told to local authorities. The outer bags holding the chemicals weren't waterproof and the building was poorly ventilated.
If the amounts of material stored were appropriate and the fire suppression system, in this case the sprinkler heads, were properly maintained, we most likely would never have had the event that we experienced at BioLabs.
The CSB's job is to investigate and issue recommendations. Those have been sent to OSHA, the EPA, and Kick Consumer Products Company, which operated this Conyers BioLab facility. Residents here say recommendations aren't enough.
And I was diagnosed with chemically induced bronchitis.
Elsie. Let's go. Run. Madeline Reese says a lot has changed in the nearly 2 years since the chemical cloud cleared, but her push for accountability remains the same.
The only way that these kind of things are changed is if there's real lasting repercussions for it. So a list of recommendations to me is great. What is the government going to do with that is what we really want to see, and that's what we've been waiting on for 2 years.
Our newsroom has reached out to BioLab for comment. In Conyers, I'm Sydney Stallworth, Atlanta News First.